Okay, so I'll get this out of the way first. Is that still to this day, I got nothing but love for Blazzy. Blazzy has announced that he's stepping away from No Jumper, specifically disconnected. And it's kind of sad to see because I really respect him as a designer, as an artist, as a personality. I really think that he's just got the world ahead of him. Like he's going to be able to do whatever he wants in his career. But he was brought on to No Jumper through House Phone, and House Phone. I mean, we don't really know exactly where he's at still. We haven't necessarily had like a full conversation with him. The last time that we communicated with him, Josh talked to him on Wednesday, and he seemed pretty enthusiastic about still doing the show. So I don't know if that changed between Wednesday and Thursday or if he just wasn't having a good day or what. But, the Blazzy thing, I assume just kind of comes from that. And so I assume this is the end of Disconnected, which is unfortunate. Yuri's here. I'm assuming the camera hasn't showed him yet. But Yuri, were you left out of the decision-making process on this? At least at first, you said?
Well, it's like talking to House One, I could kind of tell that I was getting the vibe that he was over. He was basically just over it at this point. And I was already just thinking in my head, like, I don't see Disconnected continuing at this point. Like, how are we just gonna sit down and talk about regular topics when there's so much tension, there's so much built up emotions, even with a couple people. So it's just like I kind of had a feeling something was going on. I really did think we were going to do a show yesterday, though.
Yeah, you showed up, right?
Yeah, we seen.
Yeah, I didn't think it was not going to happen.
You was the only one who posted it on your story.
I didn't notice that either. After I saw that, I was like, oh man, I'm the only one who's excited for it. But no, yeah, it's like it's definitely like a sad thing that a lot of people fuck the Disconnected. A lot of people like the show, but like you were saying, it's like a House Phone. I believe like what it seems like he's separating himself, and Blazzy came in with him, so Blazzy left as well.
Right. I mean, from our perspective, it was like, we already had kind of discussed Disconnected not happening anymore just because there was a lot of, people not showing up at a certain point, which, it's not like that was the whole time or anything, but there was just it was just kind of hard to wrangle it. And like, people don't really know about like the finances of how all this stuff looks, but I mean, you go live on YouTube. Like really like half the people who work at No Jumper go live on YouTube. So they kind of know exactly how much money certain shows make. And they know that it's like, sometimes it can be kind of hard to justify. And like, it sucked too, because everybody on Disconnected, I feel like would all say that they weren't stoked on what they were getting paid. And not that you never say anything, but House Phone and Blazzy kind of, they mentioned it at times. And it's like, we were like losing money on each episode, even with paying them. As soon as we pay them, boom, it's like, it's losing money. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, it kind of felt like from our perspective, this was sort of inevitable at some point. It sucks very badly. Like the reason why there's so much tension, because, I never wanted to, have anything happen on the show that would make it that hard for House Phone to be on the show or whatever. Like this is just, it's not a situation I ever wanted. I'll restate it again. I deeply apologize to House Phone for the fact that our platform was responsible for stuff getting revealed about him or whatever. And I kind of don't blame him for not being able to come here and get on camera, because I feel like it's probably just got so many.
It's an association thing, you come here, you think that has to do with that, but it's like I talked to House Phone and Blazzy, and like, well, I actually haven't been able to talk to House Phone. He's been kind of not picking up, but the last time I talked to him, I got the vibe that he was basically like, it seemed like he did not want to be a part of it anymore. And we had the discussion of like, what happens if you're not here anymore? It's like, what am I going to do, right? And the House Phone, we had this conversation where he told me, he's like, dude, he's like, my thing with Adam, he's like, that's just me and Adam. He's like, you've been on your own path with No Jumper for a minute. He's like, I don't want to get in the way of you and whatever you got going on. He's like, so don't let me, making my decisions affect what you're going to do at No Jumper. So it's like he was basically, in short terms, like completely fine with the idea of me continuing to stay on the platform and do stuff. Blazzy was fine with it too. Paul Lord was fine with it too. But I feel like, Blazzy left because of House One. I don't think House One just wants to be a part of it anymore. I don't know, though. Like, I don't think you've talked to him, and I haven't been able to talk to him either.
Well, the last thing I heard was that Josh had a conversation on Wednesday, which I guess was pretty pro continuing to do content. But then, I don't know. We haven't really seen anything else that would go in that direction since then. So, yeah, I mean, it is kind of a bummer. Obviously, like, just ending any kind of era, the disconnected era, just kind of coming to an end. It just sucks because it's like, just having people in the office and stuff is dope. When I look at something like the Christmas vlog and everybody together and stuff, it was dope. But then also it's like, as a business owner, it really kind of sucks, like building stuff that isn't necessarily working financially and like not wanting to have that impact friendships.
Yeah.
But then also like, because it's just like, it's hard to have that conversation. Like, and for us, it's like the whole concept of like creating live streams that are basically just friends getting on camera and talking. It's like, it's definitely endeared a big chunk of people in terms of the YouTube audience and everything. But it's also not necessarily like really working for us business wise that much, which doesn't mean that we're going to like, stop doing Tuesday and Wednesday show and everything, especially because we've been getting more and more ads on there and stuff. And that helps everybody involved, including us, get paid and everything. But I mean, definitely I would say that now, especially since we're doing the news, there's some percentage of the No Jumper energy that we just like don't want to keep putting it into like trying to build up more live streams of homies hanging out, even though that's dope. But it's like that can kind of happen anywhere. Like that's kind of what is happening on like everybody else's live streams and stuff. And I just don't really, there's like a part of me that doesn't really think that that's the future of No Jumper going forward. But I just, to reiterate, like huge amount of respect for House Phone and Blazzy. I don't know what's going to happen with House Phone, but I got nothing bad to say about them, and I appreciate, all the time that they put in with Disconnected and everything. And, I'm very apologetic for the fact that this kind of all went down the way that it went down. And it's a shame,
Yeah.
Definitely shouts to Disconnected, and it was dope to be on their platform.
You had a little run.
So much love. Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to my nigga Phone. You already know what's going on.
Yeah,
I can't really hear myself. You don't know. You already know what's going on. You feel me? Love you, Phone. That's my nigga.
Yeah, love Phone and.